So in this video we will talk about the larynx. The larynx is this set of structures here. It's made up of many cartilage, muscle and ligament which made the larynx. So below the larynx it's continuous with the trachea, and above the larynx you've got the pharynx. So simply above is the pharynx and below is the trachea. So the main function of the larynx إنها that's بعتمد على الوضع اللارynx. إذا كان totally open فهو مسؤول عن breathing، إذا كان partially open مسؤول عن distortion of the airflow، so مسؤول عن phonation while talking، and if it's completely closed تعمل protection للrespiratory system. So larynx is important in breathing, phonation and protection of the respiratory system. There is a lot of stuff to talk about the larynx. في هذا الفيديو تحديدا رح نحكي عن cartilage of the larynx, the framework of the larynx, and later on we will talk about the membranes and the vocal cords. So the best thing to do is to start with the framework and the cartilaginous framework of the larynx. So the larynx is made up of 6 cartilage. You have got 3 unpaired cartilage and 3 paired cartilage. The paired cartilage are smaller and the unpaired cartilages are larger. We will start at the top and moving downward to talk in more detail. So before I talk about the cartilage, it's worth to mention the relationship of the larynx to the hyoid bone. So if I just bring in the bones, you can see this membrane from which the thyroid cartilage is suspended. This is called the thyrohyoid membrane. And if I bring in the muscle there is a muscle which is quite important because this connects from the hyoid bone to the thyroid as well. هاي بنسميها thyrohyoid muscle. So that's worth remembering because the larynx is suspended from this muscle and this membrane. So if I just remove the thyrohyoid membrane, we can take a look at the first cartilage. You can see this cartilage here. This is called the epiglottis. So remember I mentioned في البداية إنه one of the function للlarynx إنها تعمل protection للrespiratory system. The epiglottis is essential because it can close the opening to the larynx by flapping over and so protect it from any food entering the mouth. So I've just removed the thyroid cartilage. You can see the epiglottis here anteriorly, and إذا عملت removal للmucosa of the larynx and pharynx, you can see that the esophagus is posteriorly and the trachea is anteriorly. So the epiglottis can be pulled downwards تمام in front of the opening to the larynx. هذا بعمل prevention ل any food to through the mouth, enter through the mouth and entering into the orifice, and it comes down. So the epiglottis go posteriorly into the larynx and protect the airway below. So if I isolate the epiglottis and the thyroid cartilage, you can have a look to the relationship of these two structures. So firstly, you can see the shape of the epiglottis. It's leaf shape and then it's got this stem. So you've got the leaf shape for the epiglottis and the stem of the epiglottis, which is connected to the posterior surface of the thyroid by a small ligament بنسميه thyroepiglottic ligament, because it connects from the thyroid to the epiglottis. And also on the posterior surface of the epiglottis, which isn't clear على هذا الموديل، إنه عنا little tubercle which sit on the inferior half of the posterior surface of the epiglottis. إذا جبنا some structure back in, and you can see the ligament attaching the epiglottis to the thyroid cartilage. So next we will talk about the thyroid cartilage, which is the largest cartilage. It consists of this broad lamina on either side which meet in the midline and form this prominence, which is known as the laryngeal prominence. So if you view this from the lateral aspect, you can see this prominence. This can be seen in males. بنسميها تفاحة آدم, Adam's apple, and it's larger in males than in females. So you've got this little notch as well. There these lamina meet, and this is called midline thyroid notch. This is called the thyroid notch. في عنا برضو inferiorly in the midline another notch بنسميها inferior thyroid notch, ولكن superior thyroid notch is more evident. So if we follow the thyroid cartilage around to the back, you can see that it posteriorly opened. It's not a complete ring. And at the top we have a bit here something which is called the superior horn, and we have one on either side, and at the bottom also we have an inferior horn. So I've just brought the other structures in, and you can see the superior horn here. It actually connects via a thickening of this membrane to the hyoid bone. So it connects to the greater horn of the hyoid bone via a ligament here, which is a thickening of the thyrohyoid membrane. As if we follow the thyroid cartilage down, the inferior horn عامل articulation مع ال third unpaired cartilage اللي هو عبارة عن الكيريكويد cartilage. You've got this articulation with من خلال الانفيريور horn طبعا. So the last thing to mention about the thyroid cartilage is the oblique line. It's not clear على هذا الموديل, ولكن extend from the base of the superior horn just a little bit in front of the base of the superior horn down to about تقريبا للmidway along the bottom of this lamina. This oblique line بعمل marks the attachment of the three muscle. هاي المسل have خلينا نبين شوي مسل هون. في عنا three muscles are the thyrohyoid muscle عاملة connecting ما بين الهايويد and the thyroid cartilage, ما بين الهايويد bone والthyroid cartilage, and في عنا another muscle عاملة connection ما بين الثايرويد and الستيرنم. وفي عنا the last one بنسميها inferior constrictor muscle.